Welcome back. Today is Monday and it's our Amazon Q&A tonight. I am here with Steve Eberhard and he's up in Florida. I'm in Los Angeles and we're going to be talking about how to sell on Amazon nowadays because there's a lot of people giving out a lot of bad information. So we're going to kind of talk and give you some tips and give you some things that you need to know as a new seller, even as an experienced seller, and kind of go from there. So Steve, how are you? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you fine, Henry.
All right.
Everyone can
Okay, great. So today I wanted just to kind of ask Steve a few questions. Just like we're doing our Skype here and just kind of communicate with each other, and you guys are able to watch this broadcast live as we are talking and everything else. And so, if you guys can hear us both okay, just let us know in the chat. That way, we know that you're hearing them okay. I know you probably can hear me fine, and so. Just leave that. If you guys have a question for Steve or for myself, feel free to ask the question in chat and kind of go from there. Thank you for the thumbs up. Appreciate that. So how's it going over there, Steve, in Florida?
It's hot. It's hot, but it's going good.
Good.
Yeah,
How are sales going on the East Coast for you?
yeah, they're pretty steady. I mean, it's all about the supply issues, as you well know. But if you have product, it seems to be selling. It's just the biggest issue is, for me anyway, is getting the product shipments out and from my supplier.
Yeah, and that's a huge thing that's going on right now with the suppliers overseas. They're taking their sweet time, and also they're raising the prices on the shipping costs and everything else like that. So, do you buy mostly from overseas now, or are you buying locally here domestic also, or is it both? Can you let our viewers know about that?
Well, I buy both. I'm waiting right now for a slow boat from China for a delivery.
Okay.
Uh, and then they're going to hand it off to UPS, and then UPS gives it to me. But um, that's my supplier in China. But I also buy domestically, and they're shipping out two different states, and it seems like both states, because of the coronavirus, I guess they have limited employees, and the shipping is seems to be very slow.
So it's taking a little bit longer for the shipments to come in. Usually, how long does it take for your shipments to come in, for your product to come in? What's the average?
Well, when they're running it at full speed ahead and enough employees, I mean, I could call, let's say, any day this week, and I would have the product in my hand next week.
Wow.
7 to 10 days normally, and now it can take upwards of a month. Um, and obviously you run out in between, and you have orders to fill, and people are contacting me. Where's my product? Where's my product? I'm trying to fill everything I can, and when you run out, you can't fill it.
Right. Somebody had a question here. It looks like Brian Moe had a question. Welcome, Brian, to our broadcast here. Thoughts on about seller fulfilled Prime. Currently, seller support says that they are revamping seller fulfilled Prime. Does that mean Amazon is trying to allow more sellers to become Prime? That was something that came over through the back office recently, I think a couple of days ago. And it's what it is basically it's a new thing that they're going to do, a new form that you have to fill out. And that's for you, those of you that get in trouble with your seller fulfilled Prime. If it gets taken away, you have to fill out this form in order to get it back. Steve, did you hear about that at all?
Yeah, I saw it. I didn't read the whole thing, but I've experienced it also where I went outside of the seller fulfilled prime system and I had to go through the Amazon courts to get it back.
Yeah, the Amazon courts, and they're not very favorable towards sellers. It's usually towards the customers, and a lot of experience with that. And those are some of the things that you really have to know about and what have you. So you want to make sure that you kind of do everything correctly, to do everything the right way. And, like Brian happened to see, obviously he's a seller, and happened to see that come across. And it does come across to your back office, and you always want to make sure that you are on top of that and finding out what's new coming down the pipeline with Amazon, because they're always changing their policies and procedures. And sometimes I kind of just wish that they would get it right. Eduardo says, hi, Henry and Steve, and hello, Tech Daddy team. Hello, hello. And Maria, hi there, Maria. What's going on? Hi, gentlemen. When you cannot fulfill your orders, does that negatively impact your matrix? Steve, you want to answer that?
Yes. Yes. It's not, how can I put it? It's not retail arbitrage. You better have it in stock when you sell it. Don't get caught like you're waiting for a shipment or something like that. No. If you don't have the product, take it out of your inventory, because it will catch up to you, and then Amazon won't want to listen to why it happened.
Right, and they usually do give you a negative. There's a few things that you want to do in your back office, and you always want to check this every single day. One of the biggest things is messages. If somebody sends you a message, it has an under 24-hour response and an over 24-hour response. If you get the over 24-hour response, it goes against your matrix, and they can literally pull your seller's account just by too many of those. So you have to be really, really careful. You always want to make sure that you answer those messages, even if, say, for example, this weekend coming up, you have 4th of July weekend. There's people who are going to be leaving town, but yet they leave their sellers' accounts active. And once they leave that active, then, somebody sends them a message asking them a simple question. They don't respond. They come back and find out that it's over the 24-hour period, and they get dinged on that. So,
yeah. I'll tell you, I started a routine where when I sign on to seller support or my seller console every morning, the first thing I do is I click messages, then I go into performance, then I go into orders. So I just have a routine that, if there's any messages there, I want to get them out of the way right away, answer them. Then I go into my my matrix as far as my performance and see if anybody's responded negatively or positively, and I answer them. And then I go into my orders and fill my orders.
Yeah,
that's a routine I got into.
Yeah, and it has to be that routine. You constantly have to be watching that. Steve, I know that you're not able to see the comments, so I'm just going to kind of read them out to you, or the questions that come on in. Bidel La Rufus says, hi guys, did Steve set up a 1-day or 2-day shipping? Do you want to answer that? Did you do merchant fulfilled? Did you do fulfilled by Amazon? Kind of enlighten them on that.
Okay. I kind of grew into it. I started out doing the free shipping, and then when Amazon offered me to do seller fulfilled prime, I jumped right on it, not knowing what that really meant completely. So I had a lot of orders that were coming in, and they were requesting 1-day shipping. And I don't know about you guys, but 1-day shipping, is very tedious. I mean, you got to literally get down to the post office every day, sometimes twice a day. A lot of times it's got to go to the UPS store. Gets rather cumbersome. So in my case, what I did is I only did, I eliminated the 1 day shipping completely, went to the 2 day, and just offered it, across the country, and then the 1 day shipping in my state only, which reduced the amount of orders that I had to fill 1 day. You can do that in your back office.
Yeah, and it's those are some of the things you really got to pay attention to. You really have to, because if not, like I said, that's could really hurt your matrix, and you really got to watch that. Maria Alfano, do you overstate your quantities? How can you oversell the inventory? Well, you always want to test the market, and so I always let my members know, especially when they join my team or what have you, you never want to buy 5,000, 10,000 units to start. That's just something that you don't know if that product is going to sell or not. So for anybody who has product that is just that's in the warehouse, and they have product there and they can't get rid of it, you might want to try doing a few things like, do the discount price, do a buy one get one free. They have that program with Amazon that you can get into. Reduce your price. Try doing that just to kind of get rid of the inventory. And once you get rid of that inventory, you won't be able to, you'll know that you don't want to sell that product because it's been sitting there and obviously it's not selling. You may want to look at your listing to make sure that you can optimize it a little better, or put in better keywords, or seeing if your product is even being found. And that's very, very important to kind of make sure that figure out what is going on with your listing, especially if you have products that are just kind of sitting on the shelf. I know that we did talk about massive sales that were happening within the last month, and my sales were tremendous. Steve, I want you to kind of enlighten on your sales and how you were doing, and what you think, why the sales were.
Oh my God, the sales just exploded. I mean, I don't know how else to describe it. I mean, it wasn't like a steady increase. All of a sudden, it just hit, because I guess people were home from the virus or something. I don't know, but I could not keep up with it. As I would go to bed at night, and I wake up in the morning, and I'd have 48 sales overnight while I was asleep. And then you try to fill them the next day, and as you're filling them, more are coming in.
Wow.
It's a nice problem, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen all the time, but I went through a stretch there, especially on weekends. I mean, there was nothing in the warehouses, so everything was merchant fulfilled. The profit's great on merchant fulfilled, but it was work. It was really work keeping up with it.
Yeah, and that's usually, sometimes you're not prepared for it, and that's where you kind of have to go, okay, sales are starting to pick up. Do I have enough envelopes? Do I have enough, bags? Do I have enough shipping labels? Does my printer have enough ink in it? You have to stay on top of all that. And when you get down to that slow period, or a little break, then you just make sure that you order all that, especially if you're doing merchant fulfilled, because it does take a lot of inventory, and I've been guilty myself of running out of product. Literally, I would run out of labels and have to run down to Office Depot or Staples or something and kind of pick it up there. And it was kind of funny because I would go and literally run out of the 2-piece labels, and I ordered them from Amazon, and they're not getting here till 7 days later, and you have 200, 250 orders to fill, but you can't print them because you don't have paper.
Right.
And so I would run down to Office Max, and luckily they had price match guarantee, and I literally would show them how much it was on Amazon through my phone, and I can tell you, Office Max was selling the same one for $107. I go to Amazon and they were selling it for like $55, and so that was a huge savings right there within itself. But you kind of you get caught, and you're going, oh, what am I going to do? I have no other sources. But then you kind of have to bite the bullet sometimes to pay the higher price and go
And then
from
you
there.
get Office Max, and there's one left.
Yeah.
And you need like 4.
Yes.
And then next thing you know, you're looking, where's the other Office Max that's within 10 miles or something. It's something that you shouldn't have to go through if you plan.
Right. B-Dell says, does Steve use QuickBooks or other recorded keeping software to track sales? Good question.
Yeah, I when I was self-employed before doing this, I used QuickBooks exclusively in my business. When I get into Amazon as it grew, I used a software through GoDaddy bookkeeping. The reason I use that is because GoDaddy bookkeeping has a way of downloading your sales directly from Amazon, which is a real time saver.
Yeah.
And QuickBooks doesn't have that function.
I think that's about $10 a month or something like that.
Or
what?
I pay it annually, so
okay.
I think it's about $149 a year or something like that.
Okay.
It's not really that expensive, but what's really good about it is the downloading right off of Amazon and eBay, by the way, and PayPal. It's all set up. You have to enter in certain permissions, and then you have authorized the download of the data, and it gives you a nice PRL too, so it knows where you stand.
There you go. So, Zorizzi says, hello guys. Henry, I forgot to call you last week. You want me to join you and talk about Amazon? Yeah, it's kind of late now for this one, but we will. I have to get your information because I have to get your Skype information and add you on so we can get you on. Or maybe I'll have you as a guest next week, and we can talk about Amazon also. But today it was a little late for that, but that's okay. That's fine. If you guys have questions for Steve or you have questions for myself, feel free to put it in the comments. We are reading the comments and kind of going from there. Let's see what Illinois Picker has to say. Welcome there, Illinois Picker. QuickBooks does not have it built in, but you can do the same thing using A2X for comparable prices. I will never switch from QuickBooks Online. I love it. Well, there you go. There's a person who likes QuickBooks. Awesome. So, if you were to give any type of advice to anybody who was new selling on Amazon, what kind of advice would you give them? For you starting out? And by the way, Steve, let them know. Let them know how long you've been selling on Amazon, and kind of give them your history so our new viewers know where you were and where you came from and all that good stuff.
Well, I guess I've been doing Amazon and eBay for a total of, I guess it's close to 5 years now. I started out with a program. Henry laughs when I bring this up all the time. I think it was called Retail Domination, or what was it called?
DS Domination.
DS Domination.
Yeah.
and they had a eBay module, and you kind of grow through that, and it's really retail arbitrage, and you kind of grow through the system, and you realize as you become more successful that that model is very time consuming, to say the least, um, and not very repeatable, because it's all about the inventory that you can pick up in stores and stuff like that. Along the way, uh, Henry had a different course back then, and that's how I first met him. I was trying to expand and learn as much as I could. I was like a sponge trying to figure this out, because I was slowly getting more successful. As I joined his course, and he put up the phone number, and one day I decided I'm going to call him and ask him a question, and he actually answered the phone, which surprised me, because I'm thinking nobody answers their phone that sells these courses.
Yeah,
He
what?
answered the
No,
phone.
nobody puts them on every single YouTube video either. So
Right.
on all my YouTube videos on the title is my phone number and how to get in touch with me, and so and I do that for a reason. But go ahead,
Yeah.
Steve.
Anyway, he was basically telling me, look, stop wasting your time with that. You got to jump onto Amazon. And like everybody else, I said, Amazon, wow. The problem with that is you got to buy the product first.
Yeah,
Well, that too, yeah. But the model, I mean, it's the big elephant in the room. So that's when I made the switch. And at that point, that's about the time you started with your new course software. And
yeah,
I would urge anybody, the mistakes that I made prior to that was unbelievable. And then once I was able to buy the course from Henry, this is even before the A to Z, and watch the videos and learn at my own pace, then I was hooked. I was like, wow, this is going to work. And sure enough, it started to work. And then I just became, I liked it so much. I said, this is going to help. This is going to work. And I used to set goals of saying, like, gee, if it just paid half my electric bill or something like that. And
right.
next thing you know, it went to a car payment, and I said, wow, this is fantastic. And the more I learned, the more I wanted to learn, but I know that you can't do it alone, because Amazon has made so many changes along the way. And I'm thinking, if I had to do this over, my God, you have to have a mentor, you have to have structure, and it's right there in front of you in this course.
Yeah, and I'm gonna put you on the spot. Have you made over $10,000 in a month?
Yes,
Nice.
yes,
I'm gonna leave it at that.
yes. I'm not gonna, yeah, and I'm not
Yeah,
gonna hit anymore.
there you
But
go.
I've done it on occasion. Yes.
There's a good ding for you. So,
Yeah.
all right. Brian Moe, thoughts about Walmart and Shopify coming together? Should Amazon sellers be nervous?
No.
No, absolutely not. Amazon is one of the largest marketplaces in the world when it comes to online sales. Shopify struggles because anybody who's done Shopify has to promote that themselves. And it's very hard to create websites and everything else like that through Shopify when you don't know what you're doing. There are a few people out there that do know what they're doing, and Shopify is a breeze to them, but they don't have that technical support that you can simply call them and say, "Hey, I need to set this up," because they're going to charge you for it. They're absolutely going to charge you for it. Now, if they're getting together with Walmart, that's all fine and good, but that is not. You still have eBay you have to compete with, and so. I'm not concerned about it, not worried about it. Um, it is what it is. I won't leave Amazon. That's for sure. This is my 13th year selling on Amazon, and it just gets better and better all the time. Zoe Rizzi says, my sales are still booming. Thank God I am launching my second product. Awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, that's really, really good. And how about Greena M? Greena M, what's up there, Greena M? Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you are new to my YouTube channel, go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Make sure you hit that notification bell. It lets you know when I do come on. It's just a shameless little plug here. I'm new to selling on Amazon. I'm doing OA, struggling in sales. Well, Steve, you want to enlighten?
Well, I think we all go through that in the beginning. I mean, I know I went through, I guess, a half a dozen products. I guess everyone thinks, yeah, you're always looking for the home run. And what I would say to anybody is, hit a couple singles, get your feet wet, learn the system, learn the stuff that you think is so automatic, like printing labels and stuff like you just take it for granted, and it becomes like breathing after a while. But you'd be surprised how many little idiosyncrasies there is in the system that you have to really pick up and learn. And as you increase your sales, you'll learn that along the way.
Yeah. Tina Thompson, go brother. That's my sister. She's up in Florida. She says, hi, Steve.
Oh, yeah. Hi, T.
Yeah.
Hello.
She snuck in my YouTube video. Wow. What about that?
Good for her.
Yeah.
Well,
okay. And we were just talking about, merchant fulfilled and kind of getting your feet wet and stuff like that. I think it is important for people to try both, to do Amazon's FBA program, but also get their feet wet by learning merchant fulfilled, because once you start learning merchant fulfilled and doing everything yourself, it becomes a lot easier and you have a clear understanding of how Amazon works. It's very, very frustrating when people are making hundreds of dollars in sales one day, and then the next day they're making nothing. And that's how Amazon runs its business. So you kind of have to prepare for that, because sometimes we could be sitting here talking about how last week was superb and this week it's dead, and we're trying to figure out what's going on. Why are we not getting the sales? Did new competitors come in? Did other people start selling products similar to Steve's or to mine? Or so those are the things that you have to really pay attention to. But don't sit there and dwell over, because there are people out there that are going to return products just to return products. They're going to order tons and tons of products, and then all of a sudden you have returns. And the reason why is I changed my mind. And that could be frustrating, because you are you're doing everything right, you're trying to get everything taken care of, and then all of a sudden, boom, as a new seller, you're sitting there going, oh, how do I handle this, or how do I do this? And so that's where you kind of have to just sit there and go, okay, I'm doing everything correctly. I've just got to make sure that I do this or do this or do this and stay on top of it, because a lot of people will lose a lot of faith, and if something that they thought that they were doing right, and then all of a sudden they get dinged for it, and Amazon doesn't really explain to you what you've done wrong. You kind of have to do the homework yourself, and that's the frustrating part about Amazon's customer service when it comes to that.
Yeah.
OLA, hey, I want to give OLA a super chat. He just donated $20 to my YouTube channel. Give you a good thumbs up. As a matter of fact, I'm going to give you an applaud for that. Yeah, there you go. Thank you very much, Ole, for the super chat. Didn't have to do it, but he always does. So let's see here. Illinois Picker says, it amazes me the misconception still out there about Amazon, that people think the opportunity is gone. There is so much opportunity to make money and run a successful business right now. What do you think, Steve?
Oh God, yes, yes. Uh, there's so much stuff out there that it's don't get stuck on finding the next mousetrap. You could sell toothpicks if
Yeah.
you choose. I mean, it's crazy the stuff that people sell and that people buy. I mean, it sometimes it makes no sense to me, but the demand is there
Yeah.
for everything.
Yeah.
Not
And
saying that everything's going to make you a lot of money, but it everything usually sells.
yeah. I'm preaching that all the time. It's like, it doesn't matter what you sell as long as you go out there and you cross all the T's and dot all the I's and make sure you do everything like you should be doing, and you're going to be seen out there. That's just something that you have to really, you have to become good at things. You have to become good at creating titles. You have to become good at you know, bullet points, putting out great bullet points with good, strong call to actions, great descriptions, and even then, sometimes it just doesn't sell. And then some of them that you think that are not going to sell really take off, and you go, "Wow, I didn't think that this was a really, really
Yeah.
good product."
I find myself telling myself to try to think like a buyer.
There you go.
What you shop? I mean, I shop online.
Every
I
day,
buy a lot of stuff from Amazon,
every day.
and what I type in there is going to determine what pops up. So try to think like a buyer, and then put that in your bullet points, put that in your description, your title, like Henry said. Get it in there. I mean, the more information you put in there, the better off you'll be,
Right.
because the algorithm searches for it.
Okay, V Gaming, what's up there, V Gaming? Welcome to my YouTube channel. He has a question. And thank you guys for the thumbs up. Really appreciate that. That does help out my YouTube channel. Thank you guys for the thumbs up. Really appreciate that. V Gaming says, I would love to sell in the USA from Canada. Merchant fulfilled, but our shipping prices are too high. If I do FBA and I sell in the US, I have to be registered in the US since the product is shipped there. Yes, absolutely. I mean, we have Canadian sellers, and what's wrong with going out there and using your platform in Canada and start selling there? I mean, that platform does sell. It's going to save you a lot on shipping. And a lot of people, that they'll do is come in from overseas. They'll come in from overseas and they'll sit there and they want to ship here in the .com industry, which is all of the United States, and find out, that they're paying taxes and they're paying for this and they're paying for that, when they should be going through their own backyard and selling there, and saving themselves a little bit of money. Great question. Appreciate that. Let me see. James, what's up there, James Hancock? James Hancock has a question for you there, Steve. What do you think about offering free shipping on certain items and other items not offering free shipping?
I personally like free shipping for everything.
Yeah.
Even if you have to adjust your price accordingly or part of it, try to go with free shipping, because as a consumer, every site you go to, they're all getting into the free shipping game at some point. It's a real game changer.
Right. And what does that really cost you? I mean, if that's the case, raise up your price just a little bit, offer the free shipping. That way it doesn't take out of your profits as much. And you go out there and you're going to create more sales through free shipping, as opposed to charging somebody to ship the product out. I mean, this is why Amazon has thousands of Prime members, because they get that free shipping every single time that they go out and they purchase products on Amazon. So that's why they pay $100 and something a year for Prime. so they have that opportunity to get it faster, get the free shipping when it is available, and have it to their door within a couple of days. Great question there, James. Jose Bone says, how do I get started with selling on Amazon? I'm new to this. Open up an account for the first thing. See if you even qualify to sell on Amazon. Steve, if you have anything that you want to give Jose as a new seller,
start out with your goals and expectations within reach, and purchase a course somewhere. I mean, learn all you can from the free gurus on YouTube, like Henry and other people. But eventually, you're going to have to decide whether you're going to enter the big leagues or not. And when you do, you're going to have to get a seller account, and you're going to need to learn. But it's your decision. You have to start out small and work your way up. But I would urge you, don't try it alone. It's too difficult now.
Yeah, it's really difficult for a lot of sellers because they don't know what they're doing. You have sellers out there that are patenting product that they don't even know that's going to sell. They're brand registering product that they don't even know is going to sell. They're opening up corporations because they feel like they're going to save money when they haven't sold anything on Amazon. And that's one of the hugest mistakes that a new seller can make is putting themselves as a business when coming onto Amazon, when they should actually be coming in as an individual and start selling products as an individual as opposed to a business. You have to remember, you have the whole year to basically to figure out if you are going to make money selling on Amazon. If you're making $2,000, $3,000 every 2 weeks, and then it starts to increase, and next thing you know, you're doing 5,000 or 10,000. Yeah, then you say, okay, maybe I should, get a business account or do this. There's a lot of sellers that try to get a business account, try to start with a business account, and they try to do everything as a business when they don't even know the products that they're going to sell. And you should be looking at what products am I interested in selling on Amazon, and how many sales are going to be generated with what I am going to sell on Amazon. And then the second part comes into, okay, I'm going to go ahead and get a EIN number, or I'm going to get a business account, I'm going to get a checking account, I'm going to get a corporation. That's when you should go out there and say, okay, I'm going to go ahead and start doing that when you are making money. And that was one of the biggest things my tax accountant told me. He said, look, why are you opening up this when you don't know that this is going to sell? And he made a good point. He said, you know how many businesses lose money because they have a dream, and basically you have to make sure that that dream comes reality. And so you need to sell the right products when selling on Amazon. And you got to find that golden nugget sometimes. Sometimes it does take a long time. I've been doing this for 13 years. And I have quite a bit of golden nuggets out there. But if you ask me how many things that I've sold on Amazon, it's been a lot. How many things have been successful? Very few. And that's what you really, really have to, pay attention to. But that's a great question. So, Illinois Picker says, in the vein of thinking like a buyer, I also look at my URL for my eBay and Amazon store fronts to make sure how it's presenting to the buyer. And then B-Dell says, how many products does Steve have now? Steve, can you answer that? How many products are you selling on Amazon itself?
See. I guess in total, what, 16, 20?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's really good. 16 to 20 products, and you have to make sure that you don't want to sell too many products on Amazon. There's a lot of retail arbitrage people out there that sell thousands and thousands of items, and you're not going to get ranked when you're selling one here or one here or one here. If you're selling one product over and over and over again, and you're constantly selling that product every single day, then your ranking is going to be much better on Amazon, where it's going to be on the first page, and people are going to notice you, and it's just going to be easier for you to sell when you do that. So, anything on that, Steve?
Yeah, that covers it. Yeah.
Okay.
It's there again. I mean, become successful in the first one, move on to the second one, and so forth. There could be variations or different colors of the same product. I mean, it's crazy what sells and what you haven't thought of yet, but you'll figure it out eventually.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely will, and it does take time. I mean, Gina M says, Henry, do you have a beginner course of retail arbitrage? I would like to purchase. You are very knowledgeable. Thank you very much. I've been doing this a long time. As Steve will tell you, I do have my course at techdaddyvideos.com. You could take a look at the courses there if you like. And I will also leave it in the description below this video here. My courses start out from $250 on up to $795. That's my most expensive course, and a lot of people will buy the Amazon A to Z course because I do give out a product of the month. I do give out support to where you get into the private Facebook group. I do have Zoom meetings that I have with my members. They're private Zoom meetings, and you can ask any questions you want there. And a lot of people will excel by just simply taking that because they know what products that I'm selling. They know what products that are making money and the products that I suggest to them. So take a look at that. And welcome to my YouTube channel. This is the first time I've seen you here. Great question. And I'm going to go ahead and give you an applaud for that. So appreciate that. All right. Illinois Picker says, I agree for Amazon on free shipping, but not all products on eBay. I know you don't do much eBay. That's okay. I still have some items with charged shipping on eBay, and they still sell good at a lower price. Well, yeah. I mean, I kind of look at eBay and Amazon are two different platforms, right? And I don't like to sit there and judge or what have you, but I've sold on eBay. I've sold over 16,000 items on eBay, and then I moved over to Amazon. I did 10 times more sales on Amazon than I did on eBay. That kind of tells you something, but that's just me. Those were my sales. But you know, everybody's different. There's people that sell directly on eBay, and there's people that sell directly on Amazon. I kind of look at it this, Steve, where you either are a Mac person or a PC person, right?
That's
right.
It.
You're never both, right? You're never a PC and a Mac guy, you know, except for me. You know, I hate PCs because, you know, I'm afraid every morning when I turn that on, there's a virus or something going on. I don't have to worry about that with a Mac, but things are totally different when I use Mac products. So, but some people are different. Some people like the PCs and what have you. They usually don't like both. So you kind of look at it as, well, people are going to shop mainly on Amazon or they're going to shop mainly on eBay. And what I'm trying to, convey here is people don't price comparison check or what have you. They don't go to eBay and check what the price is over there. They don't go to Amazon and check what the price is over there. They just go and buy because they're buying platforms, and they're simply going to go out there and buy, and that's it, Let me see. Great question. Zoe, what's up there, Zoe? Just curious, are sales still high for everyone? I'm still doing great numbers, but some of our friends aren't doing so well anymore. Do you want to answer that, Steve?
Yeah, I compare one year, like this time last year versus this time now. And if you have a seasonal product, I mean, that's one way of looking at it. But
Yeah.
I find that the spring and summer months, for me, are busier than Christmas time. Of
Yeah.
course, that's probably because of my product, but uh, yeah, for me, this is my busy season. Sales are just, they're good. They're very good.
Well, with Amazon, and it's true because everybody thinks that it's the fourth quarter that Amazon is the busiest, when in fact it's not. It's usually the end of the second quarter, the beginning of the third quarter. So you have June, July, and August. That's when it really, really takes off. That's where sales really start to happen because you have two things happening. You have summer and you have holidays coming up. You have 4th of July weekend. Sales should really start to pick up over the 4th of July weekend. After that, they start to pick up even more. What we noticed this year where sales were picking up even before because of the coronavirus, people staying home, people doing more home projects, people buying more stuff, kids over home, so sales really bumped up. And record sales, as a matter of fact, last month for a lot of people. But now, yes, you're absolutely right. Things kind of are slowing down for Amazon, but then they'll pick up. I can guarantee you, your friends that are slow right now will probably end up picking up on their sales right after 4th of July weekend because you have to get ready for the holidays. And that's where a lot of people are coming in. And we honestly don't know how the holidays are going to come out. Are people going to want to spend money during the holidays? Are they going to be conservative and hold on to their money? Are they going to be going out? There's still a lot of people that are not going out right now because of everything that's going on. So sales are still great. Sales are still good. And you kind of have to.
It's back to school season. That's another thing.
Yeah.
We don't even know that. We think there's going to be, but.
Absolutely. So great question there, Zoe. Appreciate that. James says Henry's course is definitely worth the money. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Henry says, Henry, will you post the product of the month for this month? I had explained that no, I'm not going to do the product of the month because of everything that's been happening for this month. But next month, I'm definitely looking at that. I already found the product of the month for this month. It's just that the figures they're all over the place right now, and there's a lot of other things that are being sold. So I don't want to give out a product of the month on something that is not giving me real numbers. And this last month, people have bought, for example, Steve says toothpicks. Who would have known toothpick sales really, really increased? So, that.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think with everyone home, there's so much cabin fever that it does skew the sales.
Right.
I mean, maybe they won't be repeatable next year. Who knows? People are just buying everything.
Yeah, they are. Zoe Rizzi says, Henry, we got to see Steve flash off some money too. Haha, I'm pulling at 10K for the next video.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess he wants you to make it rain and flash that cash, I guess.
I'm not that type of person.
There you go. Some people are, some people are not, but I like your honesty, Steve.
I don't have a Ferrari in the driveway or anything like that.
There you go. But see, that's the beauty about it is this is for everyday people, and everyday people could be making money in this business. I don't know how many times I get up in the morning, and people are calling, and these people calling you on the phone and leaving you these voicemails saying, want to earn $10,000 in 3 days? Just follow this.
Yeah.
It continue on, continue on. I've been doing this for 13 years, and Steve, you've been doing this for a while yourself, and honestly, would you go somewhere else for an online business?
Yeah. No. It's yeah. There's a lot of I call them aluminum siding salesmen out there. There's an awful lot of gurus that will just take your money, so to speak. And I dealt with a couple of them before I met Henry, and uh, you can't even reach these people. I mean, if you were to send them an email, I don't even know if they would know who you are. I mean, that's just the way to look at it. I've never found anyone as caring and as personable in an online business as Henry. I mean, no one does this. And I'm flattering you, I know, and I'm not trying to sell rotten fish or anything, but I mean, it's really it's amazing.
Well,
One of them.
I hear it all the time. I mean, and I want to make myself accessible, and that's just it. Because when people know that you're a real person out there and they can answer your questions and everything else like that, and you're not hiding behind the wall and saying, "Hey, I've taken your money and now I can't get a hold of you," or what have you, it makes a huge difference. And this has been my practice for a long time, is to make myself accessible. Now, does it mean that I'm not busy? I am. I have. Steve will tell you. He calls me every day. I am busy every hour amongst the hour with one thing or another, and it's just a matter of making the money, bringing it in, and just putting it right back out, and teaching people how to make money selling on Amazon. This is what I do. This is what I've been doing. This is why Tech Daddy's videos is so successful. This is why I have a lot of members come in, because they know even after the fact that they can call me, email me, leave me a voicemail, and I will call them back. And that goes right back to Panarello Ryder, who says, "Henry, I left you a voicemail the other day. I'm about to launch my first product. I was just waiting on AMZ on Amazon to review the pictures of the product packing with my brand on it. Fingers crossed." And I'm going to tell you, I have an appointment tomorrow, a Zoom call tomorrow with one of the other members. I'll get together with you either tonight or tomorrow morning. You can join the Zoom call, and we can, kind of, do the Zoom calls together, and I can help you out at the same time. It's just like I said, I'm constantly all over the place, where I'm helping people here and helping people there, and so my days get full sometimes. But that doesn't mean that I can't sit there and help a person out. I'm always willing to do that. So let's see here. Maria says, "We try selling on Shopify, Newegg, eBay, and always come back to Amazon as our fave." So that's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. Maria's in Canada, and she is one of my members. As a matter of fact, just signed up as a member, and got a lot of great feedback from her. We had an opportunity to talk to each other face to face, and it works out really good. And so she's starting her Amazon business, and I think she's going to do extremely well. I know she'll do extremely well. So, but when it comes to that, Steve, we're going to be closing this up pretty quick here. But if you have anything else that you can really tell somebody new on Amazon, or just starting out on Amazon, one of the biggest things that you kind of learned through your process of selling on Amazon, what would that be?
Well, be tenacious and don't give up. Don't get discouraged. Um, it'll come. Um, it might not be every product, um, but I would urge anyone to get their feet wet. And along the way, the knowledge that you'll pick up, you'll sort it out, and you will ultimately find the golden nugget, and then you're on your way. I mean, it just grows, and then it becomes once it becomes exciting for you, then you're going to realize that this is your ticket,
Yeah.
and it happens.
Well, I mean, it's like this, and I always tell a new member, or I tell somebody, because I hear these stories all the time, and they sit there and go, I'm kind of afraid to sell on Amazon. I don't want to get burned. I don't want to do this, and they talk themselves out of something that they should be doing. And if they really want to make money in another business, even a side hustle, whatever, you're on the largest platform on the internet today. And there are a lot of people that fail because they do not get the best information. People are telling them, oh, do retail arbitrage because you don't have to have the product. You can go out there, or drop shipping, and you can just send it from one store to your customer. But they don't tell you, well, what happens if that customer returns the product? Guess what happens? It affects you, and you're making very little money or peanuts off of that, and all of your money just got wasted because Amazon has 100% money back guarantee for the whole month. So if you buy something and you don't like it, you can easily say, I don't want it, and send it back. And you're kind of, there's your profits. Steve Apprentice says, Steve is speaking the truth. I have also purchased other programs where the gurus was nowhere to be seen. Henry actually cares. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Apprentice. Maria says, would recommend your course to everyone. Thank you very much, Maria. I appreciate that. And how about Dell the Hater? I haven't seen Dell the Hater in a long time. So Dell the Hater says, hi, did Steve listen to the industry standards or not selecting products with over 1,000 reviews, or does that really matter?
To me, reviews are overrated.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, every guru that I learned from along the way would always teach you, oh, you got to get reviews, you got to get traction, you got to get traction. We were in the Tech Daddy video room the other day. Henry has a new member. It's a couple. I forget their name, Henry. Excuse me. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, that was Maria, as a matter of fact.
But they have a product with 0 reviews, and it's selling like crazy.
Yeah.
It can happen. It's just all about the demand. The reviews will come, but don't worry about them.
And by the way, 1,000 reviews is not industry standard. It is way less than that because of the policy that was taken away 2.5 years ago in June with Amazon, where people were giving out fake reviews. So even now, if you give out a discounted price on your product and somebody leaves a review, most likely it's going to be taken off by Amazon because you gave them that discounted price. So they kind of look at it as, oh, you kind of did them a favor. That's why I don't suggest, discounted products, because if you're looking for reviews for that, the Amazon is just going to wipe that straight off and say, nope, because you gave a discounted code or discount code or what have you, that we're going to go ahead and take that review right off because we feel that this is not an honest review. And nowadays, you can sell products with 0 reviews. It's not about reviews anymore. It really isn't. It's about keywords. It's about optimizing your listing. It's about making sure every field is filled out the way it should be. And the right keywords, the related keywords, those are very, very important. You got to have great titles, great bullet points with strong call to actions. You got to have a really good description with pictures in it. Your pictures can't be 1 or 2 pictures. They got to be, 14, 15 pictures where people can actually see that, where they're able to zoom in and zoom in on that picture. They're looking for stuff like that. So there's just a lot of other things that go into play.
To expand on that, the only thing that really matters to condense it is Amazon's algorithm.
Yeah.
And that's it. I mean, and everything that Henry mentioned is in their algorithm.
Right.
It's just once you figure that out, that's what's going to get you ranked and where you're ranked. It's all about their algorithm, and no one knows the key to it completely, because they tweak it and they change it here and there. But everything he said, from keywords and title, bullet points, description, back office fields, I mean, it all adds up, and it places you somewhere on hopefully the first couple of pages.
Yeah, and that's the beauty about it. That's the beauty about somebody coming in brand new. So Amazon is kind of making it fair for those brand new sellers out there that never sold a product. They're going to put them out there, and they're going to put fastest product selling on Amazon right now, or get a special badge for that, and kind of pushes their product. And you got to go out there and advertise. Amazon has advertising programs where you can sign up for it, the early reviewer program, and it costs you money for it, but they put you out there in front of reviewers to review your product and give you reviews. Now, if they leave you a 5-star review, they leave you a 5-star review, but they have every right to leave you a 1-star review. So it's just a matter, and this is just keeping it honest, and that's what they want. So there's just programs like that kind of help out, especially on the new sellers, and they really have to be on top of their game when it comes to selling their products on Amazon. If you go out there and you become a new seller and you just put your listing up and go, okay, hope it sells. No, that's not what you need to do. You need to do step by step by step. And this is why I have my videos, at techdaddyvideos.com. This is why I have that, to teach you how to sell on Amazon and make sure that you are going through the guidelines of Amazon to be successful. That's the whole idea. If you can make an additional $500 every 2 weeks, $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, $10,000, that's going to make a huge difference in your life, and that is going to encourage you to get out of bed in the morning and get to work, because it definitely does me, and I know it definitely does Steve. Steve looks like he's ready to wake up tomorrow morning and get started again. I always tell him, and I always put him on the spot, because it is late over there where he's at, and I know it's past his bedtime. But I try to keep him up as. So. All right. So one last question here. Just a statement, I guess. Maria says, we have a really good seller with 1 review, and it happens to be a 1-star review. It doesn't impact our sales. Well, there you go. And really, if it did impact your sales, you can simply create a brand new listing, take that listing down, create a brand new listing with a new UPC code, and then you're starting all over again. And maybe somebody has just, left them a bad review because it was their competitor or something. Yeah. And it happens all the time. where a competitor will see that you're doing more sales, they'll buy the product from you and go out there and leave you a bad review or do something very, very nasty. So
You could write a book about that.
yeah, absolutely. All right, guys. So we're going to call it a day. I thank everybody for their comments. I really appreciate, Steve, you coming on and talking about the business. If feel free to give us a thumbs up if you learned anything today. Also, share this video and like this video. I would really appreciate that. If you are not subscribed to my YouTube channel, go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit that notification bell. We'll let you know when I do come on. I will be on next Monday night, same time, same channel, at 6 o'clock, like I do every Monday. Amazon Q&A. Appreciate all the questions, guys. Appreciate everybody out here, going out there and leaving comments. And thank you, Steve, for staying up.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it. All right, guys.
Good night.
All right. We'll see you guys later. You guys have a good night, and we'll see you on the next video. See ya.